I finished reading this book recently that I was telling some of you guys about. It is called Dracula the Undead.
Okay, sounds straightforward.
It is the Stoker Estate's official sequel to Dracula.
Okay.
Released in like 2011.
Okay.
And I thought it might be fun to do basically that. I was going to read the Wikipedia plot synopsis
Oh, yeah.
of it and have you guys act it out.
That sounds so good. All right.
It's an awful book. It is really bad.
Well, thank God it's official.
Yeah, it's written by Dacre Stoker.
What? Is that somebody in the estate?
Well, presumably he's like Bram Stoker's great grandnephew.
Okay. Okay.
So this is quite a long summary on this Wikipedia article.
Whoa.
So
Should we act it out?
That's one of those plot things where someone's like, I'm passionate about this. I'm just gonna write a book.
It also feels very much like I'm going to write the whole plot to this, so none of you have to read this book.
right.
Yes.
This is fair.
Great.
So we'll see how far we get with this. Maybe we'll skip over some bits or something.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll just, as characters get mentioned, somebody stand up and assume that character.
And there's quite a few of them, so there's going to be people who have to be multiple characters.
Okay.
Are you gonna read this whole thing?
I'll read as much of it as I can until it gets boring.
Or we're all game.
All right.
Game.
Started the lot.
25 years have passed since the vampire Count Dracula met his end at the hands of Jonathan Harker and Quincy Morris. What actually happened there is they chased Dracula down in a boat and they stabbed him on his way back to Transylvania from London. Though they were victorious in their quest, the band of heroes has now become a broken shadow of its former self. Jack Seward has become a morphine addict, obsessed with stamping out the undead.
Jesus.
This is my morphine corner.
Arthur Holmwood hides behind his loveless marriage, and Jonathan Harker drowns his sorrows and insecurities in alcohol and something I'm not going to talk about on the on Desert Bus. Over Mina, that's Mina Harker, his wife's, remaining taint from Dracula, which caused her to retain her youth. So 25 years later, she hasn't aged, and her husband is really broken up about this because it was due a liaison with Dracula.
Yeah!
The novel begins with Seward tracking down Elizabeth Bathory, who he believes is a vampire. After seeing her bathe in a young woman's blood, he tracks her to a theater in Paris. Quincy Harker, son of Jonathan and Mina, is in Paris. This is not going to end well. I've already lost my place, having been forced to attend law school instead of pursuing a career in the theater.
When does the story start?
Quincy learns that Basarab, a Romanian actor who is taking Europe by storm, is in town to perform in Richard III and vows to see his performance, no matter how it enrages his father, whom he has grown to despise. To his surprise, he is summoned by Basarab
Oh, thank God.
to his dressing room, where they strike up an unlikely friendship.
Come to my dressing room, whoever this is I've summoned.
However, they are disturbed when Bathory's vampiric attendants attempt to attack Basarab, although they are thwarted by Seward. That's the morphine guy.
That's you. You
That's
thwart
you.
the vampires. That's who they are.
As Seward chases the vampires...
You take some.
Wait, what?
And you take some.
He's the good guy.
You also take some.
No.
Who are the bad guys? I'm on morphine.
You're the bad guy now.
As Seward chases the vampires, he is struck and killed by a carriage, in which Bathory and the vampires escape. Meanwhile... Abraham Van Helsing, now a sickly old man, returns to London after hearing of Seward's death. He believes Dracula has returned. Quincy, through Basarab's urgings, becomes involved with the Lyceum Theatre, where Bram Stoker is currently trying to put together a stage performance of his failed novel, Dracula.
Whoa!
Quincy is shocked to find his parents...
Way too meta.
Okay, so I got you to come to the theater, and look, it's Bram Stoker.
Quincy is shocked to find his parents are characters in the novel and their former friends. Quincy fervently reads the novel and researches Dracula, whom he finds was a real-life Romanian prince named Vlad the Impaler.
Sup?
After the actor playing Dracula quits, he approaches Basarab.
Wait,
Quincy,
was that the old
Okay.
man?
You're the old man.
I'm the actor. Quit.
Okay, you're actually, you approach Basara.
About playing the role. Basarab grows angry with the portrayal of Dracula as a monster and decides to accept the role, if only to write what he sees as slander to a national hero. Soon after, Quincy learns in the newspaper that his father was murdered in Piccadilly after being
Wait,
impaled on a large wooden stake.
You're shocked, I guess. A thing happened.
While Quincy travels home, Mina, that's his mother, is brought into the coroner's office to identify Jonathan's body. The detective... Oh yeah, there's this whole Jack the Ripper subplot. They bring
Wait,
Jack the
are you-
Ripper into it too.
What?
The detective Cotford insinuates that Van Helsing had orchestrated both Jonathan and Seward's deaths. Years ago, Cotford worked the Jack the Ripper case and had nearly caught him. His top suspect was Abraham Van Helsing.
Who's Van Helsing?
What?
I don't know.
You were also Van Helsing.
You're also
Wait,
Van
I
Helsing.
was
They were as the old
Yes.
band.
Oh.
See, I started this and I was Dracula, and I was like, okay, I got this. I don't got this no more.
I've stayed a character the whole time.
I
I will always be morphine guy.
Years ago, Cotford worked the Jack the Ripper case and had nearly caught him. His top suspect was Abraham Van Helsing because of the gross mutilations he performed on corpses that caused him to lose his medical license. Mina returns home to prepare for Jonathan's funeral and finds Quincy there and enraged. He has smashed open his father's off-limits safe and found inside the journals that he and his friends kept while on their quest to hunt down Dracula, as well as his mother's affair with the Count. Consumed with grief over the misplaced anger toward his
A
father
vampire? Whatever.
and the betrayal that caused his father to become a drunkard, Quincy vows to hunt Dracula down and kill him himself.
Dude, just like lay off. It's cool.
After leaving his mother behind, Quincy is accosted by Van Helsing, who threatens the boy to give up his thirst for vengeance or suffer it.
Suffer.
Later that same night, Barthree sneaks into Mina's room, and there's actual horrible stuff that happens. Mina consumes some of Barthree's blood, giving her visions of her horrible past.
High octane.
My life.
Okay, this book is just awful. I'm gonna.
What's the last paragraph? Read the last paragraph.
Read the last
Jump to the end. Jump to the end.
Wait, Dracula's back?
Sometime
Dracula
later.
shows up.
Dracula sees himself as a soldier of God. Wait, what?
Starting
Wait,
sometime later.
Okay. The last paragraph is the second to last. Barthree and Dracula engage in a bloody duel in which Barthree nearly kills Dracula with the same kukri blade that Jonathan used against him 25 years ago. However,
What
Dracula being a more skilled swordsman, outmaneuvers Barthree and impales her with his broken sword, stabbing her in the chest with the kukri blade. Barthree collapses and crumples to dust as Quincy confronts Dracula, who refuses to defend himself. Dracula's compassion is revealed with a thunderous revelation that Quincy is truly Dracula's son and not Jonathan. Though he loved him dearly, he would never harm Quincy or those who raised him.
Put your hand up.
Mina confirms this fact, and suddenly the true reason behind the disintegration of his family and their friendships is laid bare. Refusing to become the monster that his father became, Quincy leaves both behind. Dracula takes solace that his son is safe and succumbs to his wounds, falling off a cliff and bursting into flames as the sun rises.
Crap.
Mina, forsaken by her son and cursed to live eternally, follows Dracula off the cliff to be reunited with her two loves, Jonathan and Dracula.
We gotta read the